Okay, so bonus video time. I've replaced my mic because it's been giving me grief. The video I posted, it'll either be yesterday or the day before, on Saturday. It had loads of noise and weird stuff going on and I was sick of dealing with it. So I've gone and got myself a new mic. And I want to test it out and also cover a few of the grind things. Because I finally started having some luck with Smiths, Feebles, those sort of tricks. Yeah, as you can see. They'd kind of been added before, but they didn't work for me at all, so... Yeah, there was also a thing with crooks. I'm not sure if I'm going to get them working. No, I'm getting Feebles. Previously in Streets, you do a crook by doing the, like, right to down motion. You can probably see it in the bottom left corner. You start here, go down. When it's held in the down position, you go into a crook. Apparently Mash maybe made a mistake or something. So now you have to do a diagonal, the feeble position, to down, to get into a crook. It's worked a few times, but it is a little bit awkward. And sometimes it just ends up in a double peg. It's going to be changed back in the end. Oh, the old potato also mentioned it in a comment on my last video as well. So I'm going to test that out. So a bit of grind stuff. Just a bit of a chill session, I think. And yeah, happy days. Have a bonk. Yeah, I'm so used to doing the old way. They can pop up to a manual now. Finally got that in the game. That's nice. Same with nose manuals as well from a Feeble. Yeah, that was kind of my jam before. Did not hop at all there. Oh yeah, another addition is Lucky Grinds. Is it Lucky? Lukey? I don't know. Those work super well. Just get into them immediately. That's just left or right on the stick. I don't know. The game is feeling pretty good these days. The improvements are crazy. The rate we're getting them. Ice picks and toothpicks are also super stable. I say that. It screws up immediately. But when you lock in, it's just rock solid the whole time. So that's kind of nice. His hands are separating from the bars a little bit now. I guess there's some rigging weirdness that's going on with that. I gotta like diversify my tricks a bit. I'm doing the same shit all the time. This is Area 52, by the way. It's one of the mod.io maps. Whoa, something weird's happened. Okay, fixed it. Also the mountain bike, or the fixed... I don't remember what it's called now. Yeah, this. It's had some improvements as well. Actually, we'll maybe see if some of the grinds work okay with this. I presume it will. It's kind of hard to tell, to be honest. Also, the ledges are tiny. Clearly not meant for one of these. Oh yeah, yeah, it works. Hardtail, that's what it is. I don't know why I forgot. Also, when you go into a tooth, you noticed he leaned a little bit. So there is a bit of physics in there reacting to like the angle that you hit the thing. Yeah, this feels good. I do get a few comments, people saying they'd prefer the way Pipe played. I don't know if I agree. For a while, I did think Pipe was a little more easy to do, because the physics in Streets were a bit weird. Like, I don't know. There's something off about it, and it was hard to explain what. So in that case, I would agree that I prefer pipe. But the way Mashbox is going, and the way that, well, this will all get updated to streets as well, I think we'll end up in a better position overall. It's kind of like pipe had its limits. As a like standalone thing, it worked pretty well. It wasn't supernatural. Okay, I've got the same thing again where I'm not turning. It's like if you land weird, your turning radius gets like screwed up somehow. Where was I? Yeah. So like stalls, things like that didn't really work in pipe. It's okay if you're not really into that sort of thing, but a lot of tech stuff, you couldn't really finesse it. And the way the physics worked, like if your frame or anything, like your pegs in the air hit something, you'd immediately bail. So it was good, it's just there's more that could be done to it, and I think that means you need to rewrite the whole physics setup to get it working. And when it comes to BMX Streets, the physics were made... I'm getting the same thing again. I don't know what it is about getting out of a feeble. Maybe it's a bug with feebles. Yeah, the way Streets worked, the basis was having a ton of assists. And then when you take them off, it kind of breaks everything because it's built for assists. But now it's been done... built under the idea that there's no assists and then you can add them on after. So the base is solid if you don't want anything. But then you can put the assists on after. The, I don't know, transition, whatever you want, grinds. And it'll still work. So you have a lot more flexibility. It's kind of like the base of the game is solid. Compared to before where it was kind of rough, but it was covered by all sorts of weird stuff on top. If that makes sense. That's the way I look at it at least. Which is why I'm kind of optimistic about the way it's going now. It's a long way around, and it'll probably piss a lot of people off, but the end result should be good. It definitely feels like it's getting good. Bakey Smith. Okay, let's get the BMX and go to a different map. This is okay for just like spamming around a little bit. I need to test the crooks somewhere, actually. I'm doing a railroad. There we got a crook. Okay, let's go to a different map. Okay. Got an overgrind. I know this map's a bit played out, like everybody uses this one. But because it's a base map, it should theoretically have the most stable like grind splines and everything. So if you do want to test the grinds out, it should work here better than other maps, which aren't made for the new physics. So I don't think any maps are really made for it. Okay. Let's go test out these crooks on one of these rails over here. Let's try this one. Okay, we got it. Good. So diagonal to down. But sometimes that happens, like the back end is lifted up and it like floats down like that. So yeah, I hope Mash changes that back to the old way. You can get it sometimes. I'm not going to edit this bit. Okay, maybe it's just getting used to it. Just keep throwing bars in every time. It's fairly consistent actually. Sometimes, okay, 50%-ish. I was also finding 180s to crooks. Just sort of works most of the time. That's without doing any input. Maybe this last update screwed it up. Because I was doing it like a bunch of times in a row. Probably need to spin a bit quicker. Then drop into it. Okay, that's weird. One of the previous updates, I literally filmed a clip of me doing it like 4 or 5 times in a row. I should probably just do the actual input. Maybe the proper input is needed now. Okay, we're doing the proper input and it's working. Yeah, every time. One thing to note, if you're doing it a 180, you need to do the opposite side. So here I'm doing it to the right because you're facing the rail. If we can get it. Well, you get the idea. But if you're 180, it's reversed, so you got to do it from the left. And now I'm not hitting it at all. Okay, there we go. So yeah, always remember, with a 180 it's the opposite, and with a 360 it comes back around to being regular again. Same applies to Feebles and Smiths as well. So I'm doing it to the right now. The ledge is on the left, because we're 180ing into it. You notice it works, more or less. Smith's going to be a bit harder because you've got to over-rotate a bit, I think. That's almost like a crook. Yeah, I don't know what that is. That little floaty thing that happens. Right, it's coming along at least. We didn't really have anything for a little while. Nice. So I've come at it this way, kind of in a shitty position. Yeah, it works. Currently, I don't actually change any of the grind settings either. If you're wondering, it's all on the basic 100%. Seems to work alright for the most part. It does lock in a bit weird on a few occasions. And if you want to do specific stalls, I'd maybe turn it off. Just because it can lock on in some weird ways like that. Remove it completely and you'll get stalls a little easier. Maybe as a one-off. But for general play, you're probably alright. Sweet. Those look pretty good as well. That didn't. Blast off the wall a bit. Probably do some interesting ground combos on that thing. I think I've done that before. Maybe end the video on that. I don't want to make it too long because it's just like a quick video evade on the fly. Yeah, I used to struggle a lot with that sort of stuff in streets for whatever reason, because a lot of the magnets kind of interfered, I found. But now, if I set a marker and like try and do a bunch of tech stuff and then we'll call the video there. Going on the other side as well? No. Oh, that was into a smith. Not bad. Little bonk. Okay, let's pretend that I intended to do a disaster there. Smooth. Pretty natural. Sometimes, anyway. Could I manual up and do like an ice pick on the end? Oh yeah. Wasn't very clean. But I've always wanted to do like nose manuals and then drop to a tooth off the end. But the way it is now is so sensitive. And also the speed has to be perfect so you don't just overshoot it. It's really hard to do. Wow, we came back down the same side. But you get the idea. Or maybe try it the other way and then that's it. Almost. There we go. It was actually pretty tricky to get. Maybe ask Mash if there's a way of getting that to like recognize a bit easier. Because even if it does land, you can like rotate and kind of spaz out a bit. Which is a bit awkward. But it's a thing at the very least. Do like a disaster as well. Alright. So there we go. More grind stuff. Hopefully this mic isn't a piece of crap compared to the other one. Seems okay. And yeah, the next few videos will be on my old mic, so there may be some weird sound stuff going on with it, but it's fine. We'll be good from now on. Plenty more to come. So yeah, thanks for watching. Oh, crap. I'll see you next time.